Okay, we are live. What is up, everybody? It's Super Bowl Sunday. Glad you're kicking it off bright and early with us for a live betting show from the Breakdown Sports of Liverpool versus Man City. So, huge match today in the Premier League. Joey B on our midweek stream said this could potentially end the league, determine who's going to win it. We're going to see here because City hasn't won at Anfield since 2003. It's over 15 matches they've drawn or lost in every single one. Liverpool sitting at a plus 220 dog. We got City as a plus 115 short favorite. We're going to be betting this entire show. We'll be here with you live, giving our thoughts on the match as we go through. So turn on your TV, listen to Rex, AJ, Joey B. Joey B and I's got some nice snow. AJ's living the nice life out in California, so he's up with us bright and early. So if you are on the West Coast, thank you for joining in with us. But it is the live betting show, the first edition, the first version. You'll see our bets scrolling below on the ticker. Comment with your bets on the screen. We'll definitely put those up because we want to see what you guys are betting. Maybe we'll tail one of you if we think it's a good enough angle. But Joey B, AJ, how are you doing?
Dude, freaking ready to go. First time live streaming this. I think it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. In terms of betting, hopefully you guys listen to the show on Thursday. I'm already 2-0. I already forgot what the bet I had was yesterday. I got Frankfurt in over 1.5 today. And what was my bet yesterday? Leverkusen money line. They got a fairly easy, comfortable win against Stuttgart. Didn't really put up much of a fight. And you did mention, I think this game may determine the title race. Well, Man U not getting all 3 points yesterday really hurt any implications this game may further have. So I guess even more so, City win here, and they're 5 points up with the game in hand. So it could be a big game points-wise.
Yes, sir. And we've officially kicked off. Only 2 bets, both from me. A little bit lower of the unit scale here to start it off because I like the formation that City's putting up there with Mahrez and the false 9 in the middle. I think that gives a lot of options for Sterling and Foden to be a goal scorer at any time. So I got those odds of plus 225 and plus 200. So if anyone's got any current odds, hit us up in the chart or hit us up in the comments with them. We'll throw them on live. As AJ and Joey B lock in more, if I lock in more, I'll update the ticker. So thank you to everyone who's joining here. It is Super Bowl Sunday. Breakdown Sports got a lot of prop bets up there for you on our website, so check it out. But we're sticking with footy real quick and nice early in the morning to get that bankroll building for the big game tonight.
Yeah, so I know, Rex, you said City haven't won at Anfield since, what was it, 2002? 2003. So do you think they're like due, or do you think that plays any factor in it?
If any season, I mean, when they were the Centurions, you'd think that would be the year that they're due. But with the no fans, I think this might give them their best shot, especially given how the trend or the form that each club's in. City right now, that's why they're at that plus 115 price. The books definitely factor that in. But I think the no fans and no atmosphere definitely makes this game different than the prior, I think it was 17 contest.
Perfect. 17, jeez. And then the weird thing is like you see who Burnley won at Anfield, and then some other bottom tier team won at Anfield. So you would expect City to hopefully get some result here.
Oh, so pre-match, we were talking about the cards. It was sitting at over 3.5 at a minus 120. Minute 45 in, we got our first yellow. Thiago taking them down from behind. So I don't know if any of you guys like to bet on the live amount of cards in the match, but if you took that one, you're off to a hot start. Yeah, it moved all the way up to over 4.5 minus 140 now. So I guess that really does it. I mean, Thiago already getting that yellow is not a good sign for the way that Liverpool have to play this match, where whoever controls that midfield is going to be the team that determines it. And is Liverpool going to high press them? Because I think that plays it right into City style, especially with the false 9. Gets one-on-one in the back and gets you a lot of open spaces. So a yellow already, he's got to be a little bit more careful. So you could see him be at least be a little less aggressive.
All right, enough about the City talk. I'm locking in my first bet for everyone.
Ooh, let's go. First bet for AJ.
And this is like the Super Bowl, props, more fun. So these are lower units. I think I have a quarter of a unit going on this one. So first goal scorer, Sadio Mane, sits at plus 550.
Yeah, I was just looking. I think Liverpool first team to score is like plus 120. AJ's going for a little more value there, but just from the kick, it looked like Liverpool came out with some extra aggression, and I think City may kind of be sitting back and soaking up some pressure early. So definitely a good angle. And
so
I
you're
hope
going plus 550.
Yeah, on Mane, first goal scorer.
in terms of that, the only other like kind of prop I looked to bet is corners, just for no research, just fun. I think games that you think have a lot of goals, I think corners are another way to attack it, especially when you have like in like La Liga or even Bundesliga, like heavy favorites going up against weaker teams. It's a good way for them to like keep on the pressure, and some of the weaker teams will be happy to give up plenty of corners if it means saving a goal here or there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and since this is a live betting show, we're going to use our research and our knowledge as much as we want. But as usual, not saying we're big degens, but we do like to mess around in the other spots. So you might see some smaller unit plays on corners and different things like that. So join in on us on whatever you want. Let us know what you are betting. So we got no shots still through here. So the under's looking good. As we've seen in the top 6 when they've been playing each other this season, the unders have been cashing. No De Bruyne, no Ake, still for City. So you think that could potentially leave more chances for Liverpool in this one as well. So I think that may have played into the price of this match as well, when Ake's probably been one of their biggest pieces so far this season, other than finding that steady center back bearing. I mean, with City just possessing and dribbling around on their backside, yeah, they're working it up. I mean, enough. I think Liverpool loves what they're seeing right now of this is exactly what they want. Is they just have to make that one mistake and then they can't be as possessive in the back.
Yeah, I agree.
City just lulls you to sleep, keeping the ball and just passing around.
And it seems like they're attacking the right side so far because we've seen right in the corner flag, City be possessing the ball right there. Was there any big lineup surprises for you guys with like Jesus on the bench or anyone not in the lineup that you were expecting?
I'm surprised for Liverpool, Curtis Jones got a start. It's such a big match. I believe he's like 20 years old, and like Joey B has been saying for the past week, like this could potentially be the title deciding match, and you're starting a 20-year-old. So we'll see.
Who would you like to see over him?
Yeah. Well, I think Liverpool has problems at the back, so ideally, like a different center back and slot Henderson in the midfield. But I know they're basically without 3 center backs, so they have 2 holding midfielders at the back. So I guess I understand based on injuries and what life gives you on that.
Yeah, Ederson being back in the match. I guess it's sad for us because imagine if Stefan started this match and put on a world-class show. That would be nuts for the U.S. men's national team situation. But we got Ederson in the back instead.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I thought it would be a good omen for us to have Zach Stefan start. Another thing is Zinchenko seems to have kind of gotten back into Pep's good graces. I know he started a number of games recently. He may not be like the weakest player in the side, because I think he's still a pretty quality player, but just given the strength of the team, he definitely is kind of a weak link back there. So I'd imagine Liverpool will look to kind of attack that side. But I also, again, I'd like, do you start Mendy? Do you start I think they have Laporte playing back there at parts at times. So I don't know who they have better, but that's like the left back is a position City has struggled to find like a good fit for like years.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we actually had like a shot attempt on that one, but didn't make it past the penalty marker spot. So, man, coming on a live betting show, our ideal situation would be like a 3-3 banger like yesterday's United Everton game. And in the comments, if you want to talk about any of the matches, Joey B and I are Wolves fans, so we can talk about the 0-0 draw today. Nice little point. AJ's a United fan, so he got another little point yesterday. Very unlucky for his club. But anything you want to say about the United matches? We're still early on in this one.
Dude, I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch, but obviously Everton scored on that last free kick from, I don't know, like 50 yards out. And in that moment, that tackle game came in, and I was like, this is the moment we're going to concede on the last kick of the ball. And yeah, it was a heartbreaker, but we move on. And yeah, I guess title is a little out of reach. I think 538 gives United like a 1% chance to win the title. So not looking too hot on that end after all these drop points this past week.
Yeah, I think it's AJ probably felt how I feel in a lot of Duke UNC games. You feel the meltdown coming on. And last night I sent a message after I forgot who it was, missed the free throw to put him up 3 in the Duke. Not Jalen Johnson, is that his name? One of the guys, he just traveled and turned the ball over and gave it back to UNC when they were down 2. I fully expected a 3 there to win the game for Duke, but thankfully it did not happen.
Yes, sir. Yeah, college basketball is definitely a roller coaster yesterday. But, I mean, so far in this match, we're just getting a whole bunch of just nothing, just passes around. Maybe Liverpool had one sneaky attack so far. City's trying to milk anything they can through, but it's possession build-up game. I think we're going to see it because it plays right into how the two teams play style-wise.
Yeah, I think no first goal scorers at plus 1100. So if you're watching this match, the first opening 10 minutes, and you think it's just going to be a nice 0-0 draw, then, I mean, plus 1100 is pretty juicy.
That is pretty damn juicy for this.
Especially given some of the past Premier League games, you never know. Some of them may be stinkers, but I think if this gets to like a generous over 1.5, I think that'd be a good time to take an over. I definitely see 2 goals in here.
So is that the bet you're currently monitoring right now? Is trying to see when you can get an over 1.5?
I mean, it's supposed to 2.5 to like even money right now, so I got a ways to go. But if it goes maybe another 15 minutes, maybe take like a 1.75.
Was pre-match? Was this one set at 3?
2.5, 130. So is it that's where they were trying to get people to take that under because everyone's just hammering the over. But I don't know. The way the top 6 have been playing, the under I think should have been the one juiced at the minus 130.
Yeah, and I feel like books are smart. Like you see it over 2.5 with the top 2 teams in the league, you think, oh, no way they don't just bag 3. So that's where Vegas has big buildings, huh?
Yeah, they definitely have big buildings because the one bet that's kind of enticing right now is the halftime result. If you just, I mean, it's plus 210 to City, plus 310 to Liverpool. Just the draw is at right at even. I think I know, even though you can just take a half goal in the first half almost at the same price, but that's much juicier. Do we really think this is 0-0 going into halftime? I mean, the first 10 minutes is where they're going to feel each other out, see what they're playing, and now I think is when we start to get to see some more creative attacks.
Yeah, I think definitely that was looking at the over 1.5 or even looking, I think you get 0.75 for first half. So just one goal, you get half a win. It is minus 135, but I think 10 minutes from now, if you just bet half a goal, maybe even wait 20 minutes if you can for that last 15 minutes, I would be not shocked, but a little surprised to see this go into half 0-0.
Yeah, and they just flashed a stat up on the TV where AJ, you took a nice more underdog of a bet than I thought. Liverpool hasn't scored in 5 of their last 7 matches, so like it right there.
In due time, the one thing I've noticed is when people say stuff, you just fade into the opposite. So if you guys are looking for free money, Paul Pierce on ESPN, just fade whatever he says. I think he's like 0-8 this season on player props, so that's free money for you guys.
It's like
from
the
a guy who's-
college football one on ESPN. They're, I think it's like Jesse Palmer and Joey Galloway's like lock of the weekend. It's like Alabama -20 every weekend. It's like, man, they get paid so much money to come up with this analysis. Bro, I know we're not right at the exact second mark. I'm at the 13-minute mark of the match, and City is just putting everybody behind the ball right when they cross over. It's nuts.
Yeah, I think this is a match where Pep knows if they get a point here, I think that's more valuable of a point to City than it would be to Liverpool.
Oh, a little bit of a dangerous cross, but lopped right into Ederson's hands. Still nothing good throughout this match of attack-wise.
And I think something is if one of these teams does get a goal, obviously, hopefully at some point, looking to like live bet a draw, not a bad idea either. But depends, I think, for me, who scores it. I think if Liverpool's first goal, I think a draw is a good look. But if it is City, I would imagine again you're betting on Liverpool to score, which seems to have been a big struggle so far this year.
Well, even so, the draw is still sitting at plus 240 live. It's some of the three-way lines. It's the one with the best odds. Liverpool's at plus 210. City's dropped about 5 cents from open from about plus 115 to 120. So that's where, even if you still like the draw, I mean, the first 15 minutes set just screams draw all over it so far.
Yeah, it is interesting. You guys probably didn't follow, but the Frankfurt, I took them at Frankfurt and over 1.5 at plus 155. I think on Bet Online I saw right before kickoff they were up to like 140 plus 144. So a good amount of line movement against them, and they still kind of came out and won. So, but it is interesting. I think even 10 minutes into the game, their live line was down to like plus 110. So definitely some interesting line movement. But it always makes me feel good after 15 minutes. The game goes on, and there's a worse money line for Frankfurt kind of into the game, or it's gotten cheaper, I guess.
Yeah, betting live definitely something that takes a skill. I mean, you can do it. I would throw chump change around first, Taco Bell runs to get yourself and get your feet wet until you want to start going it. But I mean, live, it's the most unexpected even before pregame. But definitely, if you have your angles, that's the best way to bet live is have 2 or 3 bets you're eyeing in. Once it hits that price, throw it in.
Yeah, and just a disclaimer, I feel like live, like mentioned, you do get some good value, but I mean, I think live lines are also extremely sharp, so there is potential to lose a ton. So just a disclaimer, don't blame us if you take a live bet and it doesn't pan out for you.
It's all for the fun of the game. We're just helping everyone else get that extra Super Bowl dollars before today. So Foden almost had a chance to put one on net, but Liverpool came in and cleared it out. Almost thought I'd get to go nuts 15 minutes in, but still, I would say no shots on goal. But
so
we're starting the trend there. Starting to open up a little bit more.
Yeah, the attacks are becoming more coherent and building up better than before, which was just all in the midfield. So
yeah, it feels like it's like the easy or the simple analysis to give, but we've especially seen without the fans, the first 10 minutes, especially of a top tier match, they're just legitimately feeling each other out, trying to catch someone quick right off the kickoff. But other than that, you've been seeing a lot of steady and just not do anything that's going to get you in trouble approaches. So live overs after 10 to 15 minutes are always a great idea, in my opinion, if you like it pre-match, but it's too juicy for you.
Yeah, nothing. I know the game has opened up, but nothing about this game has screamed a goal to me yet. I think it will take a goal to open this up, but it's just a matter of when that one goal is going to come.
So if we're really not that set on a team not scoring, both teams to score no is still minus 110. The yes is minus 110. So that definitely has dropped since pre-match. So the no you can get at probably a worse of a price, but if you do think both pull through, now would be starting a time within the next 10 minutes to start locking that in. So I'm not someone who usually tends to be On my book, you get a lot of options. I have still first goal scorer, anytime goal scorer, player to be booked, player to be sent off. But the one of them is I usually never dabble in the first half, especially after 10 to 15 minutes I've gone off, because I think you need to have the ultra contrarian mindset for the first half compared to different sports. With football and basketball, I think the first half you might trend more towards what's going on. But with soccer, I think it's a lot more beneficial to have a contrarian mindset in first half betting.
Yeah, we've go for it, Joey.
You mean in the sense that like if you like the reverse is going to happen in the second half, or like if what do you mean by contrarian mindset?
Well, because it's going to start to age, because right now you can see the first half under is just ultra juice. So that's where contrarian, even though this does look like no one's going to score in the first half, the later it goes, you might just have to throw it on it because the over is just going to get that much more and more value.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I live bet a ton, but I do notice like if you get to like the 36 or 37 minute mark, you almost get like a plus 200 or plus 300 on a goal to be scored. And not that it always happens, but you do like more often than not get a goal in that like last 10 minutes or so over first half. So it's definitely a way to look at that is with a juicy good price on something.
Yeah,
so City had a pretty failed cross right there. We've seen more crosses so far than I was expecting because both of these teams like to build up through the middle more than play it wide, but maybe we'll get to see a nice header. That's probably a good prop if you have the first goal to be scored on a header because we've only seen crosses get into the attack.
Yeah, but then you're looking to cross the ball into Raheem Sterling, so I don't know about that one.
Someone can put him on his shoulders, get him a little bit taller, so you can help him there. Was that in Kicking and Screaming where they put him on his shoulders?
Yeah. That's a classic movie. That's a good one.
So these City kits, I do like the light blue. It's definitely a good look, and got to shout out the Union's new kit because those things are fire with the blue and yellow. Got mine on the way. Martinez is on the back. El Brujo. So definitely going to be, I don't know, I think that's the best MLS kit that we've seen so far is that one, just because it's completely different. And MLS teams have kind of gone run of the mill with their kits so far. The pink jerseys were nice when Seattle did it, but now that's Miami FC's color, or Inter Miami's color. So you kind of got to go away from that. But definitely like seeing something more bold like what the Union did.
Is this the stream daily Union plug for the? Are we done with the Union talk?
Always about the Union talk. MLS season is going to be starting up soon when all these finish up in 3 months.
Just in time to keep the soccer talk alive.
Yeah. Any early things you're looking at for the MLS?
No, they got to agree on the CBA. I think it's almost finally complete. But as of right now, I don't think there would be a season given where the CBA is at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, first live show, still 0 shots on target through 20 minutes. Great precedent for the Breakdown Live betting show. We're not trends guys, but maybe next one we do, hammer the under, because it definitely makes talking of a lot of passing through the back in the midfield is definitely an electric live gambling content. So I guess here's a better way is since the match was 2.5 and the under, you probably got it at plus money or right around even. At what point, if you are a live bettor, and middling is something I don't do often, but it's always fun to think about, helps you practice for when you want to do it. At what point do you take an over if you have the 2.5 under, if you're trying to maximize?
Go for it, Joey.
I don't know. You wait for a 1.5, try to get exit, but then might as well just take like a prop to have exactly 2 goals in the game. But I also think in a game like this where a goal seems to be coming out of nowhere or will have to come out of nowhere, almost wait for like the live over 0.5 would be kind of my thought. So especially if you have the 2.5, you'd at least have that 1 and 2 goal span where you can get those 2 winners. But I don't know if you guys have any different thoughts on that one.
I guess for me, like Yeah, I would have to go with 0.5 as well, but it would have to be some juicy plus money odds. I'm not going to lay a minus 200 or minus 250 on for a over 0.5 because once it hits that over 0.5 in like the 60, 70th minute, it's minus 200, minus 150. So I'd have to wait till later. But once you're in the 80th minute, I mean, at that point, like teams are kind of content just parking the bus and walking home with a point. So I don't know.
That's where I think once you get the one right at the same odds that you get it because you push and the worst comes to worst. So that's where the over and a half, I mean, sure, you'll be paying the juicier odds. So that's where I think once you see the one, especially if you have a 3, then I think it's the 1.5 more logic one because it's expecting more. But with 2.5, once you see a 1 at the same odds or plus money, I think that's the perfect time because even if you don't go full unit, you go half unit or half of what you staked the last time. You get a push at worst, or you still half cash.
So
any reason why we think Liverpool keeps attacking the right flank? Is this one? Ooh, header over the bar. Mane almost had you there, AJ. Holy shit.
I know.
Wow.
I was wet. So I'm on the live stream, everyone. I'm just a tad bit ahead of the other guys, so I'm trying to hold my reactions just a bit for them. But holy shit, my heart was racing when I saw that cross come in and I saw little number 10 there. Ooh.
Dude, I told you, Mane and first one to be a header because all the attacks are coming out from crosses. Oh, we almost nailed that. But so the way I've been watching, and Matt Doyle, one of the MLS writers, I think he does great tactical analysis. One thing I was watching in another game that I've started to try to play before is if Liverpool's constantly attacking the right side, are they trying to set up the left later, or is it just the right is where their strong power is? They're just going to avoid the left as much as possible. So I'll definitely have to see who's going there. But it looks like, I mean, on the right, you're playing more into Salah and trying to set up Mane more than where I think Mane's kind of better when you play it through to him. So maybe they're trying to get all eyes on Salah over on the right and then set up Mane in open space.
Yeah, and then like Joey B mentioned, I think is Zinchenko at left back. So
yeah, he's who they're attacking, I think.
Yeah, so that's where you're kind of wink link as preluded to. So maybe attack that first. And I think Thiago's on the right side of Liverpool as well. So all your creative players and best players on that right side.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. I like that analysis you gave there of just attacking Zinchenko because you rather go at him than Cancelo.
Yeah, Cancelo's been on one.
Yeah, he's a good player, but maybe they have like I also think Mane's a better player in the air. And can attack and has like a good nose for like getting to the ball first in a way, like even over bigger center backs. But maybe Cancelo is a weak like aerial defender in a way. Like maybe he loses his man often, and Liverpool is trying to attack that. I'm not totally sure, but yeah, I would imagine just trying to get to Zinchenko. But it reminds me of I forget which game this was, but it was. Do you guys remember the left back City played Angelino? I think he's playing for Leipzig or Leverkusen. I watched it with one of my friends. It was a year or two ago, and the announcers were just like railing on the guy. He made a couple errors or whatever, but the announcers just were talking like bad about him for 10 minutes straight, and it was just I felt bad for him. And it's like he did, but he was like a young guy, and it was just funny. It reminds me of Zinchenko and. In the way, even though he's played a good game, but it was just he made like one error and the announcers just went off on him for 10 minutes straight.
All right, we got a dangerous free kick, I would say, for City. Definitely don't think they attempt a shot here unless you're just going to do a straight Glesnes rocket up in the top corner. Everyone knows the free kick. If you hit a rocket, it's called the Glesnes at this point. So.
I don't know. That foul to me was a little bit soft. Obviously, it was like a tangling of legs, but I feel like Mahrez is just sticking his legs out back as far as he can, hoping to get contact, which he did. So, kudos to soccer players.
It's all part of the game.
Well, terrible delivery on that kick, but that's exactly where Mahrez. He was kind of like on like a 1-on-3. Didn't really have anything supporting. If he was going to do anything, it's going to pass back. So why not get a dangerous free kick and just blow it instead? So. Same result either way. It looks right there.
Mhm.
All right, we're approaching the 28th minute. Yeah, there it is. Cities 0, 6, and 13 in their last meetings. May 2003 was their last win at Anfield.
Man, freaking Rex beating NBC to their stats.
I got my show notes ready for this. I wasn't coming to a live betting show of where I knew we could see a 0-0. I need to fill in with as many chances as possible to give in some notes. So I guess here's a good little, not trivia, but let's see how much I know Joey B and AJ are the stellar, the prime XG guys on the show. What was Mane's header XG worth?
You can go for it first, Joey.
What would it be? Maybe it's either gonna be like I'm gonna be off. Maybe 0.118.
Really, I feel like you score more often on that. I gotta go with like a 0.43 or something.
And you are nice little rocket right there from Firmino. Good save from Ederson, but it was a 0.08. Price is Right rules. You're both lose. Nobody wins here. It's a header off a volley, and when it's with like a guy closing into you, that's rarely ever going to break a 0.15 unless, especially where he put it over the net. But it is what it is.
I mean, go for it.
I know for XG, it's got to be something like a sitter, like a really easy one to even get close to like a 0.5 or even a 0.6. It's a pretty unsympathetic in that regard. You got to get a pretty good attempt to even get a 0.2 or 3 there.
Foden, you almost had me there. Got caught, but tried to be a one-man show to get me a cash right there.
Yeah, if you put Cavani in the box on that Mane header, that's a goal. So that's why my XG was a little high. I expect better from my front men. I don't know. That's just me.
Well, I was about to say, I wonder if they consider height into the equation of an XG off a header. That would be something interesting. I know I love to get into it, but I don't know if that's a metric that they use.
Maybe it's something I need to factor in more.
But even though, Mane's on the smaller side, like he got a full forehead on that. So
yeah, so that's where they definitely XG does try to take into consider like where a defender is. So like how much of a clear shot is it and not like that.
Uh-huh.
So after these Liverpool chances and everything, we're starting to see the live line start trending a lot more towards Pool. Even though they're sitting at plus 25, the draw has now not the juiciest odds. That's at plus 200, and City sitting at plus 137. Joey B, your match goals over 1.5 minus 163. So that 2.5 has came down very quickly.
Creeping down. Yeah, I was gonna say even like the 27th minute, I think, for a goal to be scored in the first half, it was sitting at plus 130. Now it's getting up to plus 160-ish in that range. So. I don't think I would take it 15 minutes. I don't know. I think it's give me plus 250. I may have to put a little quarter unit on it or something.
So I know you're looking for the over over 1.5 goals. Is there a specific price you're looking for, or is it more like a feeling?
I would maybe look at like a minus 115, maybe minus 130 at the most. But the thing is, I think with that is you wait a minute. It's like when do you time it? And I don't know. I'm not convinced we'll see a goal soon, but yeah, I think waiting maybe closer to even money. I think the better.
Well, you'll know with halftime, and since the total was set at 2.5, you're going to see the second half line be 1.25 most likely if it ends 0-0. Ooh, man. Liverpool just keeps trying to cross it in, fumbled it out of bounds. Your corner prop would have been looking all right now because I think that's 2 or 3 that we're currently sitting at.
Yeah.
Are any of you guys exact score bettors? Because I just think if you're betting exact score, I hope you're just, I don't know. I could never get into that. That's a tough one.
Yeah. I try to use it in my mind or just in my analysis of games. Like, what do I think the game will finish as? Usually I'm pretty off and pretty incorrect, but yeah, in terms of correct scores, yeah, no, not really.
That seems like the biggest gamble you could take. Like here, like we're investing our money using our analysis and picks and reasoning, but exact score, you're just on a prayer for that one.
Maybe, I mean, I think I did it a couple times, I think last year with Wolves when they were a little stronger. But Wolves like halftime draw, Wolves full time, usually was, especially with that exact outcome, I guess, you get like plus 300 or 400 or maybe sometimes up to 500 depending on the team. But just knowing trends like that. But in terms of correct scores, I know there's bets out there you can say correct score at halftime and full time. I mean, I think you'd be throwing your money in the gutter unless you think it's going to be a 0-0 game all the way through.
So I'm not a big person that tells people to arbitrage bet or take it both, but for a halftime result, Liverpool's at plus 500, City's at plus 500. I mean, if you throw one each way, you get a nice little payout right there.
Not bad. I do feel like Liverpool have grown into the game, and I think City are comfortable with this. They know they can defend and hit them on the counters. So
I don't know. Books don't think to be they're too comfortable with it. They got City all the way up at plus 150 now.
But then obviously the three-way draw is dropping as well, right?
Yeah, that's at plus 187. Liverpool's still at plus 210. So if you see any promise, and I mean, this has been pretty promising. So that's where I would like to see, I don't know, Liverpool still seems like the better bet in my opinion, definitely given the history. The draw double chance, that's Joey B's favorite bet, but those are all still way too juicy.
Yeah, I think especially now the double chance, it'd be something you would take Liverpool pregame. But yeah, if you had Liverpool double chance, you'd be looking sitting pretty right now. We really should have hedged our excitement and just all took correct score 0-0 in this game just for like a coincidence sake.
I was telling you no first goal scorers at plus 1100. So
you could be having a fun time hedging that out right now and getting that easy money because plus 1100, you can take like 3 or 4 bets until you run through that.
Let me see here what my book has on that right now.
Uh-oh. We might be getting some action here, fellas.
I'm so far behind you guys.
Who's going to take it?
Is it going to be Foden?
Give it Sterling. I swear to God, if Sterling or Foden don't take this, I'm going to be so upset.
I think it might be Gundogan. I don't
know.
Yeah.
No. We're talking about him so much. I'm going to be so salty because he was right at the plus 200 price too.
I've got Flash Score up, so I saw the notification pop right away, so I knew what was coming. But it took me like 30 seconds to get there. See those? That
all right,
1.5.
all right, real quick. None of us are there yet. Make or miss from Gundogan. He's missing it. He's missing it because I didn't bet on him. And if they gave it to Sterling, if they gave it to Foden, they would have easily be making this.
I'll be the contrarian. I think it's going right in.
I don't think he saves it though. That's my thing. I just think
he's going to sky over.
Yeah, Thiago committed that penalty too. I don't think that was nearly yellow card worthy, but the ref definitely, if he didn't have that yellow, he would have. Oh, it's good. It's good. You should be warming up for the Super Bowl tonight. Suck up and Butker. You don't need him. Gundogan's gonna fucking shank it for you. Wow. He was going top cheddar and.
That.
Did you see Pep's reaction?
Oh my God.
That wasn't even. It didn't even. I guess it was kind of close to hitting the bar, but geez.
I just feel like stars are aligning for a Mane first goal. Like things are happening here, boys.
So right there, that arbitrage that we were talking about, the plus 500 for City, plus 500 for Liverpool. If Gundogan would have converted that, you would have gotten plus 250 right there. So
yeah,
if anyone took it, sorry about that. I mean, you put the wrong penalty taker up there. So
That stinks because I like him as a player, even though he plays for City because I've been following him for a while. But man, that was shanked.
yeah, he's an old Dortmund player, and I liked him at Dortmund.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's one of their not most important players, but he's definitely up there in terms of his ability in the midfield.
Wow, that for someone so gifted, so much technical ability, big match.
Can't be doing that.
Are we gonna see a missed PAT in the Super Bowl?
Ooh, yeah, I was about to say that's going to be our halftime talk. Is we'll talk about the Premier League. We're going to definitely talk about the Super Bowl during the halftime. But
fair enough. We'll save it then.
I think but if you could bet Butker, I think Butker has missed a handful of PATs, but he's just nails like from 45 and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so the live betting show is still cursed right now. We got a PK miss on the live betting show. Everyone with City money line or a total that's definitely going to hurt big time in the scale of this game because that would have opened it up right away. What are you going to say, Joey B?
I was going to ask you about college basketball. We can wait till halftime.
Yeah, the hoops. This is a sore subject right now.
I was going to be more forward-looking. Maybe get back on the horse today.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely getting back up on that horse. But
yeah,
once midnight hit, you don't lick the wounds anymore. It's a new day. Happens to everybody. Didn't get swept, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, you got play out. I guess you got 2 wins. 3 wins?
2. The UCLA messed me up, so AJ was happy with that one.
Okay.
Fight on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I think the noon Sunday games, noon Saturday games are always hard ones in college basketball.
Yeah.
All right, Gundogan. Now make up your mistake by setting up an assist to Foden or Sterling.
If we get a scoreless first half, I'm going to take the over. So I'm just praying we don't get a goal in the next 5 minutes.
That was my next question is what is the over 1.5 looking at and what price entices you? Because I feel like we have to be pretty low at this point.
It's minus 120 right now, which it's getting there. So, and I'll probably regret not taking it now, but we'll see.
Yeah. There was go for it.
I was going to say, I mentioned this. I don't know if it was on the stream or not, but Liverpool to score the first goal, probably getting up there a little, maybe not as good as it was, but something else that caught my mind just because they were the plus money team.
Mm-hmm. They're growing into the game. I think, yeah, they look comfortable. Liverpool look like, I don't know what happened, but they made it past City's first 10, 15-minute pressure, and now this is just all Liverpool.
Wow. So
yeah, right.
Scroll down far enough on my book, found 3 very enticing plays. Match shots on target over 5.5. Total shots 17.5, and then offsides 3.5. You can bet on fucking offsides.
With VAR, pretty much everything's offside these days. So,
FVAR.
Yeah. And then the cards came back down to 3.5 or opened that since the first minute yellow. We haven't seen any cards there. So if you bet on the cards, not looking too tough after a very promising start.
Yeah, I think go for it.
I was just say, I don't know if I've seen any players even on the verge of getting a card unless Thiago is going to get a second yellow. He's the one that was committed the penalty, but just get like a accumulation yellow card in here. But I don't see many of those coming.
Yeah, I was gonna say Thiago to get sent off is, but I think in my book plus 15 or 1600. He's walking a pretty tight rope. Early yellow card, giving up a PK. I mean,
they might sub him. He's probably gonna be the first guy subbed off, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you think so?
But again, who do they bring
risk
on?
it?
Like Oxlade Chamberlain or Shaqiri or?
Yeah, I think Shaqiri.
Yeah.
Ooh, dangerous free kick right here for Liverpool, right outside the box.
Oh. I'm upset that Mane doesn't take free kicks, so it's gonna be Trent or Salah or Robertson, something like that in here.
Is Salah their PK taker too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still can't believe Gundogan's got that. I don't know the last PK miss I saw. Like what the heck?
There was one.
Wasn't De Bruyne their usual taker, so they had to.
Yeah.
And then I think Jesus would be probably number 2 on their list.
Yeah.
So that's where I think they were down to their third string taker, and boy, the nerves got to him. All right.
I think,
all right, real talk, real quick, since this, I hate when the fucking players lay down behind the wall. It is the dumbest thing ever. You're a professional athlete, and I don't know, man. I do not agree with this laying down behind the wall whatsoever.
I feel like it was a trend for free kicks to go under the wall last season. I don't think I've seen a highlight of a free kick under the wall this past season, but obviously, like, the person behind the wall is doing their job, but I delegate that as being like the bitch cup of something. Like you just have to stand there and get beat up with your back towards the free kick.
That's why they got Zinchenko down there.
Well, it's kind of like when we played soccer, our coach said if you jumped and if you're in the wall, ooh, it's Mane with another weak little header there. But if you flinched, if you jumped, if you turned away, like you were never being in the wall again. It was just instant that. So they were just like, yeah, we can't trust Zinchenko enough to man mark or be in the wall. We have to make him lay down so that all right, we're officially into stoppage time. Still 0-0. Great episode of the first live betting show from the Breakdown Sports. If anyone had the under, I really hope you had the under in this game so far. Just a trend in the Big Six, and it's cashing through. If one of us had the under, we could be making a lot of fun bets right here, right now, trying to double and triple our cash.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that 1.5 only is at minus 110, so hasn't moved too much in the last couple minutes.
I think at this point you just see it through to halftime, right?
Yeah.
I think you might even attack like a team to score rather than that, just because I think a team to score is going to be plus.
Yeah.
Because that means you only need the one and you get the cash right away. I'm a little bit nervous for the Foden and Sterling props just because you usually sub out the wingers, and neither of them have had a decent really shot on net, so not looking too good for those two.
Yeah, I think it's Ferran Torres. I don't know if that's his first name or not, but
yeah,
I think he'd be a good, or he may be the first sub off the bench. So who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Foden or Sterling will be one of the two, but I guess we'll find out.
I feel like all of City's wingers have kind of been MIA, so it's a crapshoot who comes off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the false nine is not opening up any of that areas with Mahrez that they were hoping for. That's when you do it with that style. You try just to get someone in space, but Liverpool's pressing attack, and they just really haven't given up anything dangerous other than that PK. They kind of came out of nothing, but silly tackle. And we are to halftime with the 0-0 draw. Electric. Time for the Breakdown Sports Line Breakers FC halftime show. A lot of stuff to talk about across the leagues. We'll dabble into different sports. We'll talk about this match if there's anything to see. Hop on in with your live comments or your bets that you're going to make throughout the show. So, Joey B., anything you want to talk about during halftime from this match, different sport, what you thinking?
Well, when I mentioned college basketball, I was going to get your opinion on the Indiana Iowa game today. See if you had any thoughts or opinions on that. That's my not biggest concern, but I just have some friends who are Indiana fans.
I was about to say I do not like IU in this game, even though Iowa can play zero defense. But what's the spread at? Like 5.5?
Yeah, the game started at noon, and I was up by 7 right now. And I think it was 4. So,
AJ, what did you thinking from today? Anything you like on the hardwood? Anything you like in NBA, football? We'll definitely start talking about the NFL talk real quick during the soccer show. But
yeah, I got to Super Bowl. I mean, today's the big day. First and foremost, coin flip. What do you guys like? Hit me with it.
Well, if you read our prop up, head. So, yeah, I was about to say the Breakdown Sports got a nice prop article from about like 6 to 7 different analysts contributed to that. And Sam's reasoning he gave for tails is tails never fails. And if it ends up, and if you bet heads and it's tails, that saying's just going to be stuck in your head for forever. So, for maybe your mental sake, definitely got to go with tails here. But it's probably the best bet you could possibly make because it's the truest 50-50 of them all.
But you don't pay a 50-50 price. Most books are at -110, -115. So
true. But it's probably the truest 50-50 price of all time, though, or the bet on the board.
Yeah.
So speaking of the prop bets, there's a lot of different ways you can go at this point, especially on Super Bowl day. I think betting overs yesterday and today is kind of the worst time you can bet an over unless it's been dropping the whole time, unless it's an under that's public or been getting hit, because at this point, everyone wants to bet overs. Your public better, especially that's logging into their account today, I doubt they're targeting any unders. So that's where today might be the best time to target unders, even though in the prop up article, I did play 2 overs. So we'll see how that goes. From the match or from the game tonight, Chiefs or Bucks, doesn't matter, money line or spread. Do you guys have a bet on the side in this game?
Chiefs. How can I not? Simple as that.
Yeah, no, we talked about it at the end of the show after AJ left. I couldn't. This is I think you hear it said a lot, but like you will feel like an idiot no matter what side you bet on and will lose. Be like, oh, you bet against Tom Brady, like you're an idiot. Oh, you bet against Patrick Mahomes, you're an idiot. So for me, I think the Chiefs are I don't know if they're the right play. I think it's again, I would feel worse betting against Patrick Mahomes than I would against Tom Brady, but you can make the case either way. I really don't know. I think Chiefs will win. It will be a close game, I think, but I do think there'll be less points scored than what a lot of people think. Everyone keeps talking about how they're going to go up and down the field. You're going to see a lot of points, yada, yada, yada. They may do that. They may sky over the total, but I think it'll be a tighter, more contested defensive effort than a lot of people think.
Yeah, I definitely have to just go with the Chiefs here. Can't go against Andy Reid. Like them too much there. The one bet that I am liking, and we wrote in the prop up article, so check us out on Twitter. Check out the breakdownsports.com. Got Gatorade cooler, heads or tails, Brady props, Mahomes props, but the one I like is Brady to be sacked over 1.5 times. So I'm targeting the Chiefs team totals over sacks at 1.5, just because Spagnuolo, I mean, in the 2 times he played Brady in the Super Bowl, he sends the pressure. Getting Brady to be in that quick passing game really takes out that deep threat. So that's where I like the Chiefs to bring the pressure, but not by blitzing too often, but by having their front guys get through. Another way you can bet on the Super Bowl is if you download the Thrive Fantasy app. They're a partner with the Breakdown Sports. All you essentially do is it's like DFS, but they give you 20 player props. You pick 10 of them. You go over or under, so you're not getting fantasy points per player. You're betting on Patrick Mahomes over 27.5 completions, Harrison Butker over 7.5 points, different stuff like that. DFS competition style, but there's a free $1,000 contest. So they're just giving you $1,000 for free. And plus, if you use our promo code BRKDWN, when you deposit $20, you get an extra free $20 in your pocket to gamble. They thank the Breakdown Sports later for that. So for this match right now, for Liverpool versus City, the XG, we got Liverpool at 0.29. We got City at 0.83. But as Joey B mentioned, when you get sitters and especially penalty kicks, different sites give different stuff. So this is from the Info Goals app. City got 0.8 from the penalty kick. That didn't even touch the net, but they're saying you usually convert penalty kicks at an 80% clip. So they have another chance that's 0.003. So Liverpool's have had the more quality chances, I guess, other than the PK or the missed volume. City just can't break down Liverpool's press so far. And I think that's been the biggest part is when they got through it, they blew their only chance to take the lead here. Man, could City go 20 straight matches, go from 2003 without getting a win at Anfield?
I mean, I hope Liverpool pull off a result just to keep this title race interesting. I do think if City go up 5 points with, I think, maybe a game in hand, I'm willing to wave the white flag and give that to City. But Liverpool get a result here, keeps it interesting, keeps United in it. Then we have a chance.
So what I thought was strange from the first half is Liverpool won the possession battle. So that's why I think we see right now with the live odds at City at plus 175, the draw at plus 175, and Liverpool plus at 210. So you can still get the same price from pre-match on Liverpool if you think if they grind out the dub. So I think that's what I was saying. They're seeing that Liverpool is having the possession, and that's just putting City behind the ball. And City, yes, they have the quality to catch you on one counter, but books seem to be liking Liverpool just by decreasing the draw and the City prices.
I think just a value perspective, I think taking both teams to score plus 185. I know goals aren't flowing or have been plentiful. I think it's a good price for just a little prop. I may take the over 1.5 maybe after a couple minutes in the first half or in the second half to get that closer to even money. So that would be definitely something I'm looking for. But maybe, as Rex said, take the I'd almost take like Liverpool to score first at I think last I was like plus 180, but I don't see it anymore. So maybe I got to wait for the game to kick back up.
Well, the Liverpool pick at plus 107 might be my favorite second half bet out there right now, just because you're getting the plus money on the pick. You get your money back if they draw. And that's where if I had to lean one here, especially because I'm not paying minus 132 for the pick from City. What I love angling, and Klopp's one of my favorite managers, if they are draw or if they are behind at halftime, to bet them, because Klopp just makes the best adjustments, but he's going up against Pep, which I think he might be the only other manager in the Premier League that can make halftime's adjustments as quality as he can. So that's where Liverpool, not playing them in the second half, but it's kind of like college football or college basketball, where there's some of those coaches that are just higher quality, more talent. They'll figure it out at halftime, and you can usually find value on that. Georgia is one of the football teams that is pretty good to go, except for when they're playing Alabama, because, just don't do that. Georgia will never beat Bama.
Sad but true.
Do we have any subs yet? Did they announce any subs? I know we're still at the thick of halftime, but sometimes they'll let us know.
I haven't seen any. But yeah, I mean, if City don't get the win now, who knows when they're ever going to get a win at Anfield again. So this is a better time than not.
Yeah, and it's like we said at the beginning of the show, like you said on there, this is huge for the table. So as crazy as it sounds, everybody in the Premier League is a Liverpool fan today. All the clubs are Liverpool fans, except for if you're a City supporter. And that would bring them right back into it. I mean, they have City's game in hand and 3-point lead, regardless if they draw here. That's just going to end up being huge for them in the long run. They're not dropping games. I don't think they've dropped a game in the last 20, but they can't pull out the results in Anfield, so let's see about that. Other Premier League stats, for Adam's sake, fellow breakdown writer, Tottenham thankfully beat West Brom 2-0, so he gets to sleep a little bit more comfortable, gets his hopes a little bit more back up. That was the early game today. Wolves and Leicester drew 0-0. For Wolves, I guess that's a pretty good result for us. Keeps us in the middle of the table, keeps us safe from the relegation. Leicester, definitely a big drop for them, but Leicester hasn't had much success going to Monolo, so that's where. But yeah, you're a Fox, you're going to fight a Wolf, you're usually not going to win in there. So that's where Wolves, I mean, they're just grinding it out. We're seeing Jimenez start practicing a little bit, start getting back into it. So I love to see Jimenez start recovering from that head injury. As we mentioned earlier in the show, Everton and United did draw 3-3. And maybe the biggest shock of the weekend was Castle beating Southampton, even with the red. That was a nice plus 200 money line that I stayed off. That was the lean. But Southampton, not looking too hot for them. Did you see anything in the Premier League or just Premier League table talk in general?
Bottom three, Fulham 15 points, West Brom 12, Sheffield 11. Sheffield honestly looks the best, has the best chance to get out of the bottom three, but the issue is Burnley is 8 points ahead of Fulham. Newcastle's 10 points ahead of Fulham. So there's a pretty staggering gap between the bottom three and everyone else. In terms of Wolves, I know Johnny was back today. Their left back, he tore his ACL, and then I think he was basically out for 6 months. I think that's a really good sign for their defense because I think he had some stability on the left side. So I think good point there for Wolves. And hopefully the biggest upset won't be Newcastle. The biggest upset will be Crystal Palace tomorrow against Leeds. I don't know if the line has moved a ton or anything, but hopefully I can cash that plus 330 underdog for a good my first sweep of the LBFC weekend.
Yeah, that'd be great for Joey B to get that nice sweep there. The one thing that two things. So we successfully jinxed Arsenal, guys, because remember when we talked about how hot they were 2 weeks ago? They've drawn, lost, and lost since then, so that my point total under looking back pretty good. So I guess it's time to unjinx Southampton because they've lost 5 straight as it is right now. Could be even more. I mean, that's a team that's just not looking too hot. They're sitting solely in the table. They shouldn't be any part of the relegation battle. But since you brought it up, I mean, Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield have just dug themselves in way too deep of a hole where they're going to need Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley just to basically implode at this point. I mean, Sheffield, they're just rotating between wins and losses, which has gotten them back into contention to not be the bottom club, but still nowhere near enough to even get them out of smelling range. Fulham's the only one who could potentially do it, but they took a draw yesterday against West Ham. That was a very boring game to watch. I played that over, and it was a nice 0-0 draw.
I think weather's playing a pretty big role. At least yesterday, it looked like in England. Even though I feel like it can have, there's not a consistent effect. I think it was pouring pretty hard in Man U Everton, and they still had 6 goals. And then you had the same weather in the West Ham Fulham game. But honestly, the field may not have held up. But we have a question from JD about some League Ooh that we're all experts in.
All right, Joey B and AJ, League Un is your realm. So let me know. Let me hear it.
All right, let me see. What is this line at?
It's going to be like 4.5 probably.
It's at over 3 minus 130, under 3 plus 110. So, I mean, Joey likes the over already. He expected the line to be 4.5.
There's some drama going on with Marseille. I don't know how to say it. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know there's some. I don't know if people were like protesting the ownership or something, and maybe I'm confusing my French teams. Either way, if I'm looking at goals, I would just look at the first half line, and then if that doesn't hit, take the full game. I know that's 2 bets, but especially with a game set at 3 and a team that like at PSG can score 3 goals and kind of sit back or do whatever. I like the first half totals in like Bayern or PSG, teams like that, when they can dominate some of the French teams or the domestic opponents. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's the French league is always a hard one to bet on because you can get 4 goals in the first half or no goals for the whole game.
I do think since Pochettino came to PSG, they're much more structured, defensive. They're okay with like a 2-0 victory. So I honestly think this game sits on 3. But I do lean in under with this, and it's always scary with Mbappe, Neymar, all of PSG's quality. But I would have to take under 3 on this one.
Yeah, here, even though Ligue 1's probably my favorite or least favorite league to watch, I would say target a PSG team total if you want, because Marseille does not keep clean sheets. PSG is pretty solid keeping the clean sheet, so that's where I'm not putting my money behind Marseille to show up. That was one of our favorite teams we liked to rag on during the Champions League show, where they were just dreadful trying to put any goals through the top teams, and now they're playing the top team in France. Just, I don't know, maybe Marseille shocks them at home, but I don't see it coming.
Yeah,
I the first half I just looked is over 1.5 plus 120. Not a bad plus money bet, I don't think. But if you also, I think you could probably find over 1.25. So if there is 1 goal, you only get half that loss there. So just another way to look at it. And if first half, you only have to pay attention to the game for 45 minutes instead of the full 2 hours. So another added bonus there.
All right, so we're officially into the second half. We're about close to 2 minutes into time. No halftime bets locked in. Now it starts becoming the fun time of some quick hitters to hopefully get something through before this. Still 0-0. Nothing that great other than the missed PK attempt. There is no subs at half, so lineups remain the same. So good for us, AJ. Our players that we have to score still have yet to be subbed off.
yeah, and we still have life after that missed penalty, so we love it.
Well, mine's just anytime goal scorer. You would have been dead real quick, but thankfully for you, he just butched that. Why are they setting off fireworks? I guess the fans outside the club are setting off fireworks during the match.
The Super Bowl Sunday. People across the pond, for some reason, they'll stay up till 3 a.m. watching American football, so I guess they're celebrating as well. But I don't know if you guys talked about this, and this is a little off topic, but what is today's drink of choice and food of choice?
I just locked in over 1.5 goals, so let's root for 2 goals here. But Rex, you can answer those questions first.
All right, so thanks for making me type into it at the same time. But the drink of choice is going to be, I got some little something Lagunitas along with some nice Bud Lattes. Food of choice is always buff chick dip. And I would love some garlic knots as well. Garlic knots are very underrated, one of my favorite go-tos. Joey, what price you got at over 1.5?
Minus 105.
Dang, you didn't want to wait for plus odds? I feel like it'll drop pretty quick if we won't see a goal in the first 10 minutes or so.
I think I may have timed it pretty well. But yeah, I think got a little lucky. But I don't know. Just I was waiting for the first half maybe to get closer to even money. So who knows? Now this game is probably gonna stay 0-0.
So you say you may have timed it well, which makes me think something's coming. But then you also say 0-0. So I don't know what's going on here.
I'm throwing. Yeah, who knows what happens?
Motherfucking Foden, God! Oh!
Bitch, Joey, I knew that was coming.
Oh, Foden sets up Guando and fuck, that was the other guy.
Please, VAR, bring this back. There has to be something.
Oh my God! Sterling passes it to Foden, and Foden bricks it.
I'm like a full 30 seconds behind you guys, but I just need to turn my flash score off for this game because I saw it coming, but I just don't know what's going to happen.
Well, good hitter on that. I guess you did time it. You timed it very well, and I
well. Yeah, I got lucky. I got very lucky. But now, I was going to say it's going to end 1-0 before we even saw the goal.
God damn it!
All right. Now, I got to find something to, I wouldn't say chase with, but something that keeps me intrigued into this match.
Yeah. I don't know.
That
I don't
sucks.
know.
I
Let's
should have
do.
just fired on all three, but oh well. It is what it is.
And can you, Rex, can you please give the viewers a reason why you didn't stick with Gundogan? Who was your first, who was your gut choice?
It was Gundogan just because he has 7 goals and 1 assist in his last 10 matches, so that's what I wanted to go with. But then I just got too caught up in the false 9 logic, thinking it's going to get out on the wing, and it's exactly what it did. Foden had all the chance to hold net right there to finish it through, but nice little rebound finish for Gundogan. Big redemption for him. Save him on Twitter getting made fun of for a while.
For a while. All right.
So what was the XG of that shot, fellas? Let's play it again. Price is Right rules.
Dude, it had to be like 0.75. Like, that's a sitter. Oh, wait, are you talking about Foden's or Gundogan's follow-up?
No, Gundogan's.
Yeah, I'll stick with 0.75.
Point. Yeah, is that better or higher than a penalty? 0.6. No, 0.70. I don't know.
Yep,
something
OEB
high.
got it right on the head, 0.7.
But I also don't see how that's easier or harder than a penalty, or like that's got to. I don't know. I feel like that's easier than a penalty. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I guess like the I don't know. I don't know.
Yep,
We
and
also have
Foden
another.
was a 0.37. So
Okay. Got a little
I guess
unlucky there.
because he had the entire net, the goalie was out of position and already basically down, or that's where it's just anything with inside the 6. You usually get a minimum of a 0.5 to 0.6 if the ball's sitting like that.
All right, I have one for that I'm locking in right now. It's team to score in the second half. Liverpool, no, sits at -106. So I do think City hold on to a clean sheet.
Okay.
So is that you locked it in?
Yeah. Okay, well, line just moved to 110, so I got -110, sorry. All my talking gave me a worse line, so thanks, guys.
So we got Sam saying if the party doesn't have buff chick dip, you're at the wrong party. Definitely agree with that. And if they only give options of dipping carrots and celery into it and there's no chip option, just sprint and grab the buff chick dip and leave.
Then you really hit the wrong party.
Okay, so now we got a cross-sport bet. This one seems like a fun one, definitely one we can get into. JD says Lazio, Caligari, first half goals plus 130, sitting over Gronk receptions. What do we think here as being the stout NFL guys of the Breakdown Sports?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I didn't know JD's diving into Ligue 1 here, Serie A. What the heck? We need to get him on the pod here.
So, love my Serie A here, so I can definitely take this one up. With Caligari not at home, definitely love it here. The lineups have yet to be announced for Lazio in there, but as long as Immobile and is playing, I always feel so much more confident about that. Doesn't look like they're going to be missing anybody of significance, so it looks like Alberto's going to be playing for Lazio, that's the 1-2 key setup. See, that's your issue is if Gronk gets 3 receptions, I don't think this game has 3 goals in the first half. It might end with 4 or 5, but 3 in the first half, I don't think that's the way. But at plus 130, if you think Gronk only gets 2, then it's worth it at the plus money. But now that's a great comment that we have to show for the show. JD was on fire last night for UFC. So his Twitter handle is at Yonkers CFB. So if you want to make some money in UFC, definitely should have tailed there because he had a monster night. And since he had the monster night, got a little bit of a hangover, but it feels a lot much better when your book looks or when your account looks the way JD's does when you wake up.
Yeah, I mean, for how many receptions is the over/under for Gronk's for the game? Is like because if Gronk gets 3 catches, I don't, like Rex said, I don't think there's 3 goals in this first half. But with Keglier away, I don't know. Lazio could just try to end the game early. But yeah, plus 130. Gronk is I don't know. He said should get 2 or 3. I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough one.
So if he's getting 2 or 3, then you're just if you're confident in Gronk getting 2 or 3, I would stay away from that prop because plus 130 I don't think is enough plus money for you to feel confident with that one.
Yeah, I think the 130 because I think if you want the over 1.5 in that game is plus 135. So if you do think goals first half there, that's plus 135. That's a better line. But then if Gronk gets no catches, which I think is probably unlikely, you could be good. But yeah, I just think even take the over 2 or something in the first half of Lazio. But if you're flush with cash in the in your account after a hot night, maybe throw a little bit on there.
There you go. I think I fixed your play. AJ forgot to update that.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm kind of nervous because Liverpool have a corner here, so all right. City's defending is still rock solid, so we'll take it.
Oh God, Foden! I'm gonna be thinking about that miss all day today.
Hey, it's all right. Some buffalo chicken dip will just take all your worries away.
Yeah, it will.
I will say for my dip tonight, doing a little sausage cheese queso or a sausage queso. So I think a good alternative. I made some fried chicken last weekend, so I'm a little chickened out this week. So I think doing some sort of like spicy sausage queso is not a bad idea either. But again, must have chips, no veggies allowed.
Are you a chef, Joey? Because man, you were pulling out all the stops for this.
No, but if you give me a recipe, I think I could follow it. But it also it's like kind of the easiest thing to make. It's just cook some sausage, throw some cream cheese in there, add some cheese, and you got your queso dip.
Oh yeah.
All right, so the AirPods officially died. Uh-oh. Getting some close chances right there, AJ. Sweating that one?
Yeah, I'm now that I've locked it in, I'm a little bit regretting because now the next 30 minutes, I mean, Liverpool's not going to just sit back, right? They have to go get a goal. So maybe my logic wasn't there, but I do believe this City defense has changed for, I guess, better for City fans.
My AirPods died.
So we got AJ or Joey B. Your over 1.5 was looking good. Now it's looking better because Liverpool's keeping up the attack. It looks like City's just going to try to catch them at this point to get it over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we do have 30 minutes to find a goal. I couldn't tell you a good exotic sausage.
I like duck. Duck is good.
Okay, I would say boar might be worth trying.
I want to go to the market that JD has where you can go pick between pheasant, duck, boar, and everything like that. Sounds like a solid place.
California, the best.
So yeah, we got the over 2.5 that's sitting at plus 175. So looking pretty good there for you. AJ, even though Liverpool's having some more chances, as much as this time keeps clicking, it's good for you. And I'm not feeling good whatsoever about my 2 goal scorers to get through because they blew it. They built up that goal. So maybe I'll have to find something new to jump into here. But Liverpool sitting at plus 1,200 on the money line. The draw is sitting at plus 333 and City sitting at minus 300. So
Jeez.
Even though that draw might be a little bit enticing right there, if you do think Liverpool scores, because betting Liverpool to score is at like plus 110 right now. So that's where I don't think it's worth it on that. If you think they score, you play that draw.
For myself personally, if I do get a nice plus money on a over 1.5 later in the match, I'll be taking that as a middle / a hedge sort of deal. So I'll be looking for that.
Yeah, then if City gets that second, you get a double cash. So like it right there.
Yeah, so I'll be looking for that. Just need to hold on for the next 20 minutes, I'd say.
All right, I know we talked about this during the show, but we got Moose Dogs. It's our gambling podcast. So if you definitely like listening to us talk about the live show, definitely check out Moose Dogs. They love their DGen betting. They get into UFC, football, college basketball, hockey. They are the betting podcast of the Breakdown Sports. So give out their show. They have a lot of props and football on the big Super Bowl tonight. So if you like any of their plays or you're looking for additional plays, jump over to them. Also, check out our prop article we got up on our website. 6 to 7 analysts contributed to it. Got all different bets from Gatorade color, heads or tails. Is Brady going to get sacked? Mahomes passing attempts. A lot of good options there for you to double in your cash.
Yeah, and today's the big day, so enjoy, have fun, but don't go too wild on some of these props.
Yeah, for us on the East Coast here, especially the Northeast, all Super Bowl plans might be getting screwed over because of this snow. But Joey B might be looking pretty good for you right here. Not looking too hot for AJ. So just let's see if
I hate you guys.
2 misses. Do we get 2?
I hate you guys. I'm supposed to be ahead on the live stream, but here I am trying to play catch up.
Oh, VAR. There's going to be a lot of VAR going at that. This is exactly what we needed in the live betting show. We got to get some VAR talk in here. What do we think about VAR in this one? Is this did Salah go down too easy?
Yeah.
He pulled his right arm, so he definitely sold that out of the gym. So, but at the same time, I don't know if that's enough to warrant it.
I also don't think it's enough to overturn it, though.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, it looks pretty quick and looks pretty decisive where it doesn't even look like it went to a check because he's already teeing it up. So
the fact that didn't even get looked at, that's like the softest penalty, I think, of the year so far.
There's no way Salah misses. There's no way we see 2 missed penalties in a game.
Nope.
This is our first and last probably live stream for me ever.
You see 2 hats ripped off. One's for a losing bet. One is for not getting the player to go through. AJ, 2 L's so far. Not looking too hot in the live show. Joey B gets one through and gets one home there. Man, that draw at plus 3-3, if you took that, hit us up in the comments because now you got some nice chump change to be playing around with.
Yeah,
I also think I mentioned it when AJ was gone at half, but plus 185. Both teams to score in this half. I mentioned good value, not anything I took, but would have cashed in 20 minutes into the second half. So that's a pretty solid bet there.
Yeah, I just gotta say, freaking Joey B is on a different level this past week or so. So if you're looking for someone to tail, that is the man you want to be following. And he played it smart rather than me just freaking throwing a little dart out there, trying to hope City's defense. This man played his cards right, got a line he liked, and sitting pretty.
Yep, so that's where we've seen with this game. Still might get under the 2.5 if it ends up here in a draw, but we're seeing some goals in the top match. Thankfully for us in the live stream, we didn't have to sit through a 0-0 match. Thank everything, because that would have been a rough way to start off our first one. But we got a great question from JD here. Anyone else wants to comment in and hit us up during our talks, we got it for you. But which player in the Super Bowl would be the best at soccer? I think mine is a very easy choice here. I'm going Tyreek Hill. Put him on the wing. I know Usain Bolt, they tried to use the same strategy there, but Tyreek definitely has the foot skills to be able to dribble that ball on the string. So I think him out on the wing with his blow-away speed, there's someone that you just have to have in your lineup, even if he's just coming in as a sub for when the legs are dead and you got to run with Tyreek Hill. Good luck. Just a different version of Traore on the Wolves.
Yeah, that was my first thought, and my only other thought would be Gronk and goal, but that would be not an outfield player. I guess that's not unfair, but I'm sure there's plenty of guys who could just throw in his goalie and they'd be pretty decent.
Yeah, for me, I gotta go CEH. I just feel like, I mean, finesse, pace. He reminds me more of a Traore than Hill would. Hill's just pure pace, just Dan James 2.0 right there.
He's got a little body compared to Traore. Maybe not like a yeah.
So my other one would be Mahomes. I know this might apply more not to Premier League, but like when you can just sub someone in to do throw-ins, just put Mahomes on the sideline every time, just a cannon right into the penalty marker, and just have a Gronk or someone's big ass head just finish it through. He does like the CEH as the choice. So JD, you didn't know he's as big as a soccer head, but that was a great question. Where I'm trying to think who else. The linemen, you obviously just got to throw them out because there's no chance they have in anything.
Yeah, it was like even like I know he's not playing, but Aaron Donald at like a center back. I still think not that I think we're assuming they have average like foot skills and soccer skills, but yeah, I think even he at center back would be a force, and even in like corners. But that'd be a tough speed and like agility with guys like Sterling and Mbappe and Neymar and Messi dribbling around him.
Yeah, but imagine someone Donald's size. He breathes on Salah. He's diving everywhere. So
yeah, true. Yeah, if they're giving
my other thought would be, you said in goal, I would think Evans would be the better goalkeeper.
Ooh.
Oh, good hands.
Yeah. All right. So how bad would Tom Brady be at soccer?
Not the worst, because he could flop. He'd be pretty good drawing cards, getting PKs, but everything else probably one of the worst picks you can make.
Free kick specialist. That's it. Would be terrible. He can put stuff on a dime. So I assume with no one running at him just having all the time in the world, more than in a pocket where you can just run up and place it on a rope into the box, I think that's where he would. But other than that, I mean, we've seen him try to run. We've seen how goofy he looked. If he tried to just defend, I think ankles broken, no questions asked. You're getting nutmegged. You're going, ooh, as you run past him, and he's just on the ground.
Yeah, we'll probably have about like 22 pace in FIFA, so not very valuable in soccer.
All right, you guys hold over the show for a quick second. I just got to run. Does Rex got to make his chicken dip or something? Like, what's going on here?
Maybe he needs a break from us.
Yeah.
I think I forgot about this prop, but for the Super Bowl, speaking of Brady and flopping, I think something to look at is a roughing the passer penalty to be called. I think it's still plus money out there, but especially the way refs treat some. Especially Tom Brady and even quarterbacks these days, definitely a thing to look for, especially with some plus money.
I don't know if the prop guys discussed this, but I feel like to attempt a 2-point conversion or a 2-point conversion to be converted, that has some pretty good odds on that. I don't know if anyone touched base on that.
All right. Well, we're approaching the final 25 minutes of the match. We are at 1-1 still. The cards prop, we got 3 now with that latest Liverpool yellow. So the over 3.5 total cards, looking pretty good after got 2 so far here in this half.
My question is, how did City get a yellow for their giving up PK, but Liverpool didn't get a yellow card for their tackle in the box?
You're bringing a player down for City, or for as a City player with a clear shot. So that's why I think that could have even been a potential red. With Thiago, you just took him out, and it wasn't a clear goal-scoring opportunity where he was going across the net, not going straight at it.
Do you think if it's another player other than Thiago, with him already sitting on a yellow, that player gets a yellow?
It wasn't like a over risky or that bad of a chance right there. So that's why I think it would have been fine.
Okay.
What do you think, Joey B? Do you think he should have gotten the second yellow there?
Yeah, I mean, Adrian makes a good point. Like, if you're going to give DS a yellow on that penalty, I know Salah kind of had a breakaway, but Sterling, like, if he gets through him, gets by him, he has a shot on goal. So I do think maybe if he didn't have a yellow to start, he would have gotten a yellow there. But I would say tough way to get 2 yellows or a red card to get sent off for that. But we saw David Luiz get that straight red there, so you never know these days.
Ooh, goal cold back for offsides. Foden plays a beautiful ball in and gets finished off, but that looks like he was off.
Hey, what is your boy Foden not doing in the box?
He's a small dude. But yeah, I think they're clearly offsides on that one, so not many questions asked.
What a beautiful finish from John Stones. Excellent finesse there.
Boy, he would have been anytime goal scorer. Pretty large there.
Yeah.
I think every City player was offsides, but they were close.
Finally got some subs coming in here. We got Shaqiri and Milner. That happened a little bit ago for Liverpool, about 2 minutes. And then we got he's using for Mahrez, so I get to sweat and lose these even longer out. Kind of like the double overtime loss I took on Texas yesterday. Just knew as that one kept going further and further that I just have to be locked in more, sweat longer, and not have it come through. That's like precluding on our the break room, the new flagship show of the Breakdown Sports. That's our general sports talk show with Sam, Tommy, and myself. We like to do the troll of the week there, and it's definitely going to be Texas as a precluder for going 0 for 12 on field goals and 2 overtimes. There are a lot more I could get into, a lot of basketball breakdown. Save that for the show, but if you want to hear me go off on Texas, that will be the spot for you to do it.
Were you backing Texas or?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, they could have won in the first overtime if they made 1 field goal, but they decided to miss all of them.
And I'm pretty sure from 3 they were like 5 for 27 or something disgusting. So
yeah,
again, I'll let Rex have his rant on that podcast.
It'll be a must listen.
Yeah.
Ooh, Allison got lucky right there.
Yeah, Liverpool's playing with fire here.
That 1 goal, I mean, even though it's the clinical or the cliche thing to say, once one happens, you're just going to see the more free-flowing game. Oh, Gundogan again from Foden. Holy shit. That was a great play from Foden there. He just broke down that line. Allison not clearing that ball out really cost them because when the back cleared it out, just gave it right back to them in possession. Liverpool so out of position there. That was a clinical breakdown from City of Liverpool.
Yeah, and when Foden got in the box, Liverpool was basically afraid to touch him after all these penalty calls. So he had a free sight into the box. And like
you guys, I know we look at live betting, and obviously I got the 1.5. Do you guys ever think of like, oh, this game's 0-0 at halftime? The pre-game was 2.5. Do you ever like take the extra value and take the over 2.5? Obviously it cashes in this game, but is that something you guys look at? Because I'm sure it would have been like plus 230 or like a decent plus price.
Yeah, for me, the United Southampton game, after Southampton got that first red card, I took an alt of like over 4.5 for plus 150, and yeah, it felt good.
It doubled up.
Yeah. Imagine if I have balls for over 8.5. So
yeah.
Probably not in the Premier League. I wouldn't do that. In Serie A or in the Bundesliga, I'd feel a lot more comfortable doing that, especially when you pick your teams. But in the Premier League, you got it at a great price. You got it. I mean, it was full game was minus 130 at 2.5. You could have gotten it at that, but cash is cash. You missed out on an extra maybe unit there, but it is what it is.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got City sitting at minus 500 on the line. We got the draw at plus 400, Liverpool at 2,800 with roughly 15 minutes plus stoppage left in this game. The total is now 3.5 at minus 110. So essentially, book split 50-50 right here if they think there's going to be another goal. Alternative match totals, just because Joey B mentioned it, you get 4.5 at plus 450, which is a big one there. Cards sitting at over 4.5, so I think that means there still has to be 2 more to get that one through, and everything else kind of sitting at huge plus odds.
Yeah, I mean, my intuition tells me I don't see how. Do you have an exact score on a 2-1 on the top of your head right there? If not, I can look at it.
Just essentially for it to finish what it's currently at?
Yeah.
No, the book I have does not offer that.
Let me take a peek. Or
it would essentially, it would essentially be minus like 110 because never mind. Here comes another one.
Yeah, this is goddamn. Matt, what the? Liverpool are literally they're throwing this.
But we get a cash. We get a cash. Woo!
Who was it?
That was Sterling, right?
The dream, yeah.
Woo! We get through with the cash on the show. Took till the 4th goal scored here. But
Beautiful.
Thankfully, Foden, you weren't coming through. Sterling comes through big here. Plus 200 winner right there. Let's go, baby. Needed that one.
I feel like are Liverpool just like inting at this point? Like they're just throwing this match away.
Those are two bad mistakes.
I wouldn't even say bad. Those are horrible.
So they're bad mistakes, but City is like pressing Liverpool right now, which is usually it's the reverse way. City likes to have the possession, like to have the other team there, but right now they're letting Liverpool fumble around in the back together. I think they just know what AJ pointed out earlier in the show, the inexperience, maybe the youth at the back. You don't have Van Dijk back there as your savior, as your sweeper keeper back there to clean everything up, and this attack from City's just being too much right now.
I will say Gundogan did make up for his missed penalty and some.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And I mean, end of the day, they get this result. I don't think anyone cares too much about that missed penalty, but I'd be surprised to see him as the penalty taker for the next match for City.
Yeah, I know Sterling missed one previously too, so who knows? Who knows who'll take it? Hopefully De Bruyne is back.
All right, we got a good question from who is the Liverpool of the NFL? So we could go style-wise. We could compare clubs to each other based on titles. We could go thinking about who's the Klopp. They obviously have the prestige factor. So any way you want to go from style, prestige, wins, who is it?
For me, I got to go Cowboys, just probably the most hated team. I feel like most people hate Liverpool. Most people hate the Cowboys. So I feel like that's a fair comparison.
Yo, JD, the reason why there's club is there's a Liverpool Football Club. That's what the FC, Line Breakers FC. We are the Line Breakers Football Club. So no, it's not like a golf club. Joey B, who are you comparing to Liverpool?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a good answer. Maybe the Chiefs because of the maybe Liverpool in their heyday was like the Chiefs with that explosive attack and the play style. But yeah, I mean, maybe the prestige. Yeah, I think AJ hit it on the head. The most hated team, at least right now. Or maybe I don't know. I don't have a good answer. Maybe it's a little bit of Sean McVay with the little Klopp and McVay comparison, just young, forward-thinking, analytical managers. But yeah, I don't know if Rex, who do you think?
This is a tough one because if you're talking most hated clubs, is it really Liverpool or is it just AJ's bias of just not wanting to say United's up there? So that's where I'm saying I think it's between those two clubs. that are the top hated ones. I know Liverpool's kind of like the whipping post or the whipping boy because of the 19 to 20 years of them just going up large and just fumbling it away at the end. That's kind of where it's like that's where I kind of thought of the 49ers was a good comparison where they had a lot of prior success. They had the 70s and the 80s where they went on that great run. And then it took them a while to get back to the Super Bowl. But even though they didn't come on through and Liverpool as a recent title, I kind of thought the 49ers were the team to compare them to.
Not bad. I think, we all hit different marks. So pretty solid work.
What about the Eagles? Maybe Eagles who were kind of on the doorstep for parts of the 2000s, and then they kind of finally broke through at the same time. I don't know the full history of the Eagles, and but I know there was times when Eagles made it to the NFC Championship game, or they were in the Super Bowl, I think, too, and just they maybe didn't choke games away and stuff, but I don't know. I know Rex being the Eagles fan, you might have better insight on that one.
So that's where if you don't take in any historical success, then you can put them to the Eagles well. But just because the Eagles never won anything, and it's not like Liverpool never did. So that's kind of where we do have our NFL championship in like 1960 or whatever. So sorry, JD, I thought you were a Raiders guy. Why are you hating on the why are you trolling on them? Because it's we like to troll here. I have a show called Pick and Troll with Jordan, just paying the troll toll. It's always fun to troll.
Rex, thoughts on Carson Wentz leaving? Are you crying? Are you heartbroken?
I have a lot of words for this, so it's probably not the best area to do it. But if you're going to have an organization, sorry to hear the beeping, they're plowing right now. If you're going to have an organization make 6, 7, 8 moves over their history to keep you there coaching-wise, trading out Foles, there's like multiple times where they made options just based around him, and he's still being a baby back bitch. So
fair enough, and that's those are Rex's thoughts for the day on Carson Wentz.
Looks like we got another one coming up here. Got the update through the book, so let's see who hammers this one home. So,
dang,
they sub Foden out.
No, wasn't that just Foden?
That was Foden.
Oh, was it?
Oh, double catch!
Oh my!
Let's fucking go! Plus 425 day. What a bounce back! Let's go! I just kicked over my water bottle. It spilled everywhere, but that's a problem for 15 minutes later.
What a goal!
Go! Let's go, Foden. That was a rocket.
Wow! I saw him on the wing, and I was like, "Oh, is this gonna be another cross?" But one cut.
Oh, he's bringing out the city jersey to taunt AJ with.
I know. I thought about it this morning. I should have put it on, but it would make me look like too much of a City fan.
Damn, what was Allison's read on that? Because he went down low and it just went right at his head. He probably should have stopped that one, even though with the pace, you have to hit that one up.
Yeah, at least get something on it. But hey,
you got like some
Rex
fingers.
will take it. And then that alt of what was it, over 4.5?
Yeah. Again, should have just kept hammering the over in this game.
Yeah, not even like a real sweat. And now we got some beef between Ederson, Trent. I like this.
I mean, I love goalies. I think they get hated on too much, but sometimes they are just the softest players in the whole thing.
Yeah, like you're on a soccer field, you get mad he's trying to get the ball from you.
It's just showing no respect, I guess. Is more
Yeah. Everyone should bow down.
Yeah, but what is Trent doing being hard down 4-1? Like, come on now.
Yeah, he's being a little punk.
Yeah.
JD, we can say footy. That's like the best compromise between the two. But yeah, we call it soccer.
Sadly.
I'll like
soccer show before Joey B became the staple, so we had to become Lion Breakers FC, which is definitely a lot better than the AR soccer show.
Mm-hmm.
After more thought, I thought it should be the LBMC Line Breakers Money Club, but football club's too nice.
Money Club sounds kind of nice, and I mean,
do
you
like
guys are a
Money
part
Club.
of it. Man,
Well, AJ, you didn't play a full unit on either of those, correct? So it's not even like you lost a Taco Bell run. You lost maybe 2 Taco Bell runs for a fun
yeah,
betting
yeah,
show. What it is. Better luck next time. I mean, to hit 2 goal time scores, that was nuts.
and in succession, you had no hope to all hope.
I know. I should have just did all 3 and went one-to-one too, and just
Parlayed them all round robin.
Oh,
Well,
that would have been
some
dirty.
books now allow it, and some legal books as well. Prop Builder, where I could have put all 3 of those together as a parlay. Probably would have been plus over like 1,000 odds, with each of them being plus 200. It would have been roughly right around plus 1,000.
That would have been nice. That would have been your Buffalo Chicken Ranch dip handled right there.
Yep. So thankfully, we went from a 0-0 match at half to 5 in the second. The total for the second half was sitting at over 1.5, which Joey B hit. That one cashed within 10 minutes. Got the goal scorers through. AJ got very unlucky with taking the Liverpool team total under, where they showed some flashes of life, but then it's safe to say they shit the bed pretty quick after that.
Yeah. That's right.
So the live total right now sitting at 5.5 is plus 333. The under's minus 450. Obviously, that under isn't too enticing at all. The plus 33, plus 333, does that entice anybody that we will get one more in about 7 to 8 minutes, if that?
Yeah, I mean, does City just like big statement match, put the nail in the coffin? I don't know.
So what's their goal differential currently looking like? Because that's what they already had a stranglehold on the goal differential. They've allowed 14 goals so far through 22 matches.
Uh-huh.
I think
Sheffield, for comparison, has scored 14 goals through 22 matches, but conceded 35 times.
I think the live goal differential for them is 29, and Man U's is 19. Leicester's at 14, and Liverpool is at 15. So I think they've got a pretty good handle on that.
Got a nice stranglehold on those. So, yeah, this is looking like the 6-point flip that all the Premier League except for City won it. And now 5-point cushion. Goal differential basically out of the picture at this point, where you're going to have to cross them for points. You can't rely on tying them with points. Huge for City today. Not good for Liverpool and the rest of the league. This was where in Line Breakers FC, we were talking about how City was sitting at 9th and 10th in the table and still had the best odds to pull it out. You could back them at like plus 120, and they were the favorites going into the season. Still, now they're even more of the favorites. And if you try to find the live odd, you're going to be at like minus 300 at least at this point.
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah, I would say definitely a lot more. Let's take a look here.
So the one reason why I definitely wanted to get one of these live shows going, we see other outlets doing it, but it gets us just to talk about the game. People get to talk about what we see in the match. Here, we're not giving the most tactical analysis maybe here. We had some bits and parts of it, but not saying it's DGen betting, but live betting's a lot of fun. You got to see our reactions to it. You got to see me react to Guandoan getting both of them so far. And you get to see joy down the end. You get to see AJ's pain. You get to see Joey B smile when he gets there. I'm running around my apartment like an idiot when it gets through. But this is Line Breakers FC, and as the JD says, to the moon. So the one thing that I love to do in the soccer matches is we kind of had it with Alexander Arnold and Ederson there when soccer players look like they're going to box or fight, which is never going to happen, but love putting odds on it. So if Ederson and Alexander Arnold were to put the mitts on, put it up, it could be UFC, it could be boxing. I think Ederson is a smooth minus 200 favorite here, and Arnold is probably sitting at plus like 300.
I was going to say minus 250.
Mhm.
Maybe give me a first round knockout. I think Ederson's a crazy mofo.
Yeah, I have to agree with both. Trent is soft.
All right, who could take down Gronk in a fight?
Lukaku.
Zlatan, yeah.
Love that one.
Yeah. Probably those two. I don't know. Gronk is what is he, 6'7"?
So this is where going with the Zlatan, just from the experience, he just looks like looks like someone who, if you're going and like you're not expecting to fight them in a street fighting style, and they just pull out some crazy shit and you're on the ground within 25 seconds. And Zlatan's at least 6'4", definitely no weight. So if they get onto the ground, Zlatan's done. Traore would be my one, because even though he might have a foot and a half on him, he's not going to be able to reach him, and Traore is just going to be able to pound him with body shots.
Ooh.
What about Holland? No shot? Too soft?
Yeah, Holland extra soft. And have we seen a boxer from Norway before?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
We would all lose terribly because I would not touch Lukaku one bit because he's way too because I have a jersey of him. He's on Inter, so couldn't touch him. I would just let him do whatever he wanted to me.
That,
Yeah. What's up, Lukaku? Let's have a night out on me. I know I don't have the cash, but I'd let him bankrupt me.
that 3-on-1 would turn to a 2-on-2 real quick. Rex would be turn his back on us and give Lukaku, or I guess a 2-on-1 at the very least.
I think we could take him, Joey. Us too.
No shot.
I'm like 5'8".
With the right shoes on?
Well, with the right shoes, I'm like 5'9". So got to give myself some credit there.
We're dwindling down into the final minute spine breakers FC. Yeah, there's your pod right there, JD. You can thank us later. We'll trademark it. 10% of merchandise is due to Line Breakers FC if you do it for when you get your UFC pod going. But that is full time. We had a 4-1 match. So definitely first half wasn't showing some good signs of the first live betting show. None of us had the under, but it didn't matter. Overs always. Water finds its level. 4-1 City, resounding victory. Liverpool made it interesting, I would say, for the first 60 minutes, but City just put into a different gear to will that one over there. I mean, if we're going to take a look at the XG, it's not going to be pretty for Liverpool. Even though it's 4-1, it's a very fair result. 3.19 XG to 1.19. So that just shows the dominance that was in there. If you take a look at the shot map, Liverpool had one good shot, and that was the penalty kick. If you go and look at Cities, they had 3 goals within the 6-yard box. If you're just going to allow that, then you had Foden's rocket on top. Never going to go well for you. First win in Anfield since 2003. Almost puts, I wouldn't say put it shut, because City still has 17 matches left, so anything could happen. Or is it 16? I'm not too sure. It's one of those two. But how did we do live betting wise, Joey B?
Is that the right order? No. I want to know. I'll take my one win. Bet regret, though, definitely a Man City money line, but none of us really saw the second half coming. But I'll take my one win and get out of here.
So how many units did you cash on that one?
Just a half unit.
Hey, had the 2-0 weekend so far. Got one.
Yeah, they get 3-0 with the
hype that one up before we log off, but a nice 3-0 Saturday and Sunday for Joey B. Got that extra Super Bowl money. just like what we said in the tweet, we're helping here get your bankroll. AJ, how did you do?
A little disappointing 0-2, but these were a little more fun bets. Yeah, I'm just surprised Liverpool suck, and yeah, that's all I got for you guys.
And thankfully, after yesterday's debacle from Rex, went 2-6 or 2-7 in college basketball, 0-2 in soccer. Got a nice plus 4.25 units today on 2-0 today.
Jeez.
Really get back out of the book. JD, I know I was hitting you up last night since you had a good night on UFC, saying you want to help me out. Pay the bookie. I can block that Venmo request, cancel it now. We don't need to go through with 2 goal scorers, Foden to score and Sterling to score, come through late. So as usual, check out the breakdownsports.com. Lot of football content for the Super Bowl tonight. We got the prop op article with 6 analysts in there contributing. JD led that one, so we got to thank him for tuning into the stream, asking us some great questions, getting us laughs. And yeah, got hopefully some winners in there. Sam Murphy has his dumb brain. More props. These are all from Sam. Sam's going wild because it's the Super Bowl. He gave you 1 in the prop up article. If you want to see everything he's backing, get in there. JD, I know, just want to hype up his. He has a great Mahomes prop article there, or prop bet there. So definitely check out the article there. We have Moose Dogs podcast out on the Super Bowl bets. Then you had the break room, 2 episodes. JD also joined us in the second pod. Let us talk about the props there. If the article's not enough, if you can't get enough of him, that's where it's at. Line Breakers FC, that's us. This is our first live betting show. Was a lot of fun for us today, so I think we're definitely going to find another one for a top match we can get into. Maybe we'll do electric seat just because we can live bet and electric seat it as well. And with Line Breakers FC, Joey B's got a final play. It's in tomorrow. It's a nice work day sweat in the Premier League. So, Joey B, I know you gave out the analysis. If there's just a quick hitter you want to give on your play tomorrow in the Premier League.
Yeah, look for Crystal Palace money line. I think I got it plus 330. I think that price is probably still around somewhere. They're playing Leeds. Just look for Leeds to lay on the pressure. But I'm banking on Crystal Palace to be able to kind of withstand the initial attacks and maybe get a couple goals on the counter.
All right, so where can they follow you at? We're going to give her a quick sign-off real quick. We thank you, everyone, for doing it. Joey B's is right in his thing. AJ, I tried to do yours. What's yours again to see if I did it right in the last show on Thursday? Sign off.
I think it's my Twitter is at @A_VADUKUL. Find me on Twitter. Today, I sadly won't be having pho because it is Super Bowl Sunday, but if you do like pho, hit Rex and I up.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I hit it right. It says soccer analyst in the bio. And then you can follow me at reast_easy with the Z. Follow the Breakdown Sports at BRKDWN_sports. Everyone, have a good day. We appreciate everyone tuning in for the show, and we'll see you later.